Sorry, I don't want to get married.
Today's video brings us back to Burt Reynolds once again. But this time, not for his movies, not for his fame, and not for his legendary career. Today, we are talking about Burt Reynolds because of one quiet question that shocked Hollywood after his death. What really happened between Burt Reynolds and his son? When Burt Reynolds passed away in 2018, fans around the world mourned the loss of a screen legend. But soon after, headlines took a strange turn.
It is so hard to believe this. This guy was once the #1 movie.
Reports claimed that Burt had left his only son, Quinton Reynolds, out of his will. Instantly, rumors exploded. People began asking, was there a broken relationship? Was there anger? Or was there something darker behind the scenes? To understand the truth, we first need to understand the man behind the smile. Burt Reynolds grew up in a household where love was rarely spoken. His father was strict, distant, and emotionally closed. Burt later admitted that his father never said the words, "I love you." That absence stayed with him for life. It shaped how he saw family, success, and even himself. When Burt became a father, he promised himself one thing: his son would never feel that same emptiness. Quinton Reynolds was adopted by Burt and actress Loni Anderson in 1988. Unlike his famous parents, Quinton chose a quiet life. He avoided interviews, stayed away from cameras, and worked behind the scenes in the film industry. Fame was never his goal. Burt often spoke about how differently he treated his son compared to how he was raised. He hugged him, kissed him, and openly told him how much he loved him. To Burt, this was healing his own childhood wounds. But despite that love, Burt's life was filled with chaos. Failed marriages, financial disasters, health problems, and years of physical pain followed him everywhere. At the height of his career, Burt was earning millions each year. But bad investments and expensive divorces slowly drained his fortune. By the time he reached his later years, Burt was no longer the powerful Hollywood figure he once was. He became more private, more careful, and more focused on protecting what mattered most, especially his son. That protection explains the decision that confused the world. Burt did leave Quinton out of his will, but not because he didn't love him. In fact, it was the opposite. Burt had already placed his assets into a private living trust years earlier. This trust was designed specifically to take care of Quinton quietly, without public court battles, media attention, or family disputes. A will becomes public, a trust does not. Burt knew that once he was gone, his name would still attract headlines. He didn't want his son dragged into that chaos. By using a trust, Burt ensured privacy, stability, and long-term protection for Quinton. Legal experts later confirmed that this is a common move among celebrities. Burt even clearly wrote in his will that Quinton was intentionally omitted because he had already been provided for through the trust. Nothing was taken away. Everything was planned. After Burt's death, Loni Anderson confirmed there was no bitterness, only loss. Quinton remained silent, just as he always had, choosing dignity over attention. That silence spoke louder than any rumor ever could. In the end, this was not a story of abandonment. It was a story of a father trying to break a painful cycle. Burt Reynolds may have lived loudly on screen, but his final decision as a father was quiet, careful, and deeply personal. If you appreciate stories that go beyond headlines and reveal the real truth behind Hollywood legends, subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin, press the bell icon, and stay with us for more untold stories you won't hear anywhere else.